Hey y'all, I am making a healthy lean and green dinner tonight, but one of the first things I'm going to make, a lot of it is stuff I had already left over. I'm just going to warm up like some squash and some green beans, but I've got this beautiful fresh okra from the garden. It's beautiful. Um, it's red okra. I don't know if you've ever tried red okra. I think I've done a video on this before, but I'm cooking it a little bit different now, so I thought I'd show you that. What I'm going to do, let me turn you over here just a tad. Okay, I've got these little cherry tomatoes from the garden, so I'll be using those. I've got some bell pepper from my garden, and then of course the okra, and then this is a good old Vidalia onion. I didn't grow it, but I did buy them. They're from Georgia. So I'll be chopping up the onion and the bell pepper and getting it started in the skillet with a little bit of olive oil, just sauteing. And then I'm going to chop up some of the okra and add in on top of that. So I'll get back with you after I get some of it chopped up and get it going. Okay, I'm back. I want to show you what I've done. Hold on a second, let me get you over here. This is, I've got like equal parts here of onion and bell pepper. So, you know, if you're making a lot, you know, you use larger amounts. Not if it's just cooking for 1 or 2 people, then you don't use as much. But just kind of keep it equal amounts between the onions and the bell peppers, and you'll be fine. Now, what I did with my okra here is I divided it out. I think you can see this. I put the longer ones here and the shorter ones here. And the shorter ones are the ones I'm going to use in the okra and tomatoes. And the longer ones, I'm going to use those to make some fried okra for Bob. And you can see he also wants some fried green tomatoes. So we've got some that actually a bush had fallen over, and so we've got those. And then we just started getting figs today, and we've got some really pretty little figs from our tree. I hope you can see all that really good. But anyhow, let me get this okra cut, and I'm just going to cut it into disc, and then I'll be putting it in on top of the onions and the bell peppers. But I'm going to go ahead and get these started cooking while I cut up that okra. And like I said, I'm just gonna like cut the ends off, like cut an end and a little tip off, and then I'll just be cutting it into little sections. Turn you down so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna cut it into little, not quite 1/2 inch, maybe somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch little disc, so that you can see. That way they'll cook really good and in with the bell peppers and the onions. And then I'll get back with you. Okay, I'm back, and I want you to see, probably easier for me to just bring this over. You can see I've got these all cooking together. That's the bell pepper, the onions, and the sliced okra is all in there. And it's just sauteing in a little bit of olive oil, maybe a couple of tablespoons. And it's getting the onions nice and tender. And it's starting to tenderize other things. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole little container of these tiny tomatoes. I'm going to slice them into about thirds, and then just toss them on top like that. I don't try to peel them or anything because these are just real tender. And I will cover the whole top with these tomatoes. And then I'll put a top over it and let it saute. I'm also going to add 1 little pack of Splenda because I like to add a little bit of sweetness to my okra and tomatoes. And I'll also add some salt and pepper. So I'll be back with you in just a little bit. Okay, I'm back, and I used all those little cherry tomatoes, and it didn't seem like it was quite enough tomatoes. So I had some other just ripe tomatoes that I put in there. I think it was 3 others that were kind of small, not huge tomatoes, but more like a no bigger than a tennis ball, okay? But anyhow, chop those up and put on top. So you can see, I like a lot of tomatoes on top of mine. So that's the way it is right now. And then I'm going to, since there's so much here, I'm going to add in 2 packs of Splenda. Just sprinkle that over the top. And then add about, not quite a half a teaspoon of salt. And some pepper. Let me get the pepper out. Sorry about this. This is just about out. And not quite a half a teaspoon of pepper. And then I'm just going to stir this really good. And turn the fire back up. And then I'm just going to let it saute together until these tomatoes are super, super tender and just falling apart. So I'm just going to cover it up now and let it do its magic. So I'll get back with you when it's ready. Okay, y'all. Here it is. You can see the tomatoes have cooked way down, and it's just most all the juice is cooked out of it. So I'm going to taste it, make sure that the okra is nice and tender. I got this out so I could let it cool off. It's just tender enough. It's very good. I'm glad I put the 2 packs of Splenda because it's just the right amount of sweetness. And the tomato gives a nice acid to it. It's really good, y'all. Now I know you probably noticed this over here. Let me show you. This is where I'm frying okra for Bob, because that's what he prefers, is the fried okra. But that doesn't really go along with my diet plan. I've lost 15 pounds and I'm very happy, and I want to keep it that way and continue to lose. I've got about 10 more pounds, 10 or 12 more to go. I want to be at my goal weight by my birthday, which is in October. So, you know, y'all just don't let the weekends blow your plans. Lots of times that's when we'll go out to eat. We'll do, make desserts and things, but, is it worth all the hard work you did all week and then blow it on the weekends? So, just think about that as you're going into this weekend. And I wish you all the best. If you're interested in finding out what I'm doing, just send me a message and I'll be glad to answer you, or you can call me, either one. My phone number is on the At Home with Gigi Facebook page, so just give me a call if you want to talk about it. I'll be glad to help you through whatever your goals are for your health. Anyhow, love y'all. Subscribe. I'll catch you later.